Howdy, guys. Welcome to Big Brother All-Stars Night 51. This is Cliff Notes from outside the Big Brother house. Hope y'all had a fantastic Thursday night, a good Friday morning to y'all. We had the eviction and HOH episode, so let's talk about that real quick, and then we'll get into the conversations for the rest of the evening. So first of all, it's an episode refresher. Eviction came up, Davon and Kevin on the block. As expected, Davon was evicted. The vote was 5-2. The two votes to save her came from Danny and Nicole. After she was evicted, Davon came outside, had her little exit interview with Julie. She did not sound real happy to hear that Nicole had lied to her all week long about her casting a vote to send Ian out the door. Davon said that doing that was really more personal than gameplay on Nicole's part. Not sure I agree with that completely. I think it was legitimate gameplay of not wanting to get caught up in a lie and hurting your chances and all of that. But anyway, she does know about it. Nicole did tell her in her goodbye message what she had done. So we'll see how that works out if Nicole makes it to a final two and Davon is casting a jury vote. It's from a jury management standpoint, a little iffy situation for Nicole. So we had that. Now, as terms of the HOH competition, this was not a live HOH. It happened after the show was over, so we weren't able to watch it. But we will talk about it in just a little bit. But what we do have in terms of information before the episode cut away, first of all, we heard this neighbor twist. Well, it turns out it's Dr. Will is the neighbor, and he mentions that both the HOH and the veto competition are going to give everyone a chance to go for power in the terms of HOH or veto, or prizes or money. So people are going to have to make some choices. That always makes it more exciting. I was glad to hear that. And the big news, next week is a 2-hour block on TV, so we all thought it was going to be a double eviction coming up. No, it's not a double eviction. We were all wrong. It's not a double eviction. It's a triple eviction. Yes, indeed. Big Brother USA has never done a triple eviction. Big Brother Canada has, but nothing here. I kind of hope that everyone goes into the game, that next week they all think it's a double when they first see Julie. And after they finish up the second eviction, they all think they're done for the night. And then Julie says, oh, no, we're not done. We've got another eviction to do. That's what I'm hoping for. But now triple eviction ought to be a lot of fun next week. It's going to stir things up. It's going to be a lot of fun. All right, so we hear that, and then the show cuts off. At that point, the feeds cut out until, I don't know, about 10 o'clock Big Brother time, West Coast time. The feeds finally come back on. They've already had the HOH competition, and the HOH winner is, drum roll, HOH winner is Cody. Yes, indeed. Congratulations, Cody. No, not throwing any shade at you, my friend. Congratulations. It just maybe a little boring week. Not quite the big shakeup we were expecting. Yeah, maybe he'll prove us wrong, but I don't think so. So Cody wins HOH. Apparently the competition was some sort of mini golf competition, but with big, heavy clubs and balls. You can kind of see over here or over here. This is Jordan playing a similar competition from one of the previous seasons. Not sure exactly how it's set up. I assume it was somewhat similar to what we're seeing here. But the house guests apparently had multiple shots, which you could use on either the HOH course or a $10,000 prize course, and it was up to you to decide which balls you wanted to play on one course versus the other. And apparently there were different holes maybe you could shoot for with different complexities, and based on how long it took to get to that hole or how many shots you took or something, you got points. And whoever had the best score on the HOH course won HOH. Best score on the money course won $10,000. So we have that. Now, the other thing to keep in mind, Memphis did play tonight. So Danny used her power, her that last secret power she used so he could play tonight instead of as the HOH not being eligible to play. So we had 9 competitors. Of those 9 competitors, 4 of them took at least one shot on the money course. Sounds like it was Cody and Enzo and Tyler that took at least a shot on there. Now they're all saying that they had terrible scores. That they did horrible. It wasn't them. But we also heard later that apparently two people of the 4 people that played on the money course, 2 people tied for the best score, and they were splitting that $10,000, getting $5,000 each. So 3 people are saying they did horrible. At least one of them's lying, because we know 2 people did pretty well, but we don't know. It was the competition was played one person at a time. Everyone else was inside, so no one knows how anyone else differently did. Again, everyone competed just one at a time. Just as a little insight, when you play a competition like that where it's just one person at a time, all the rest of us before the competition, we draw chips out of a bag to see the order that we compete in. Then we are each assigned to a separate room within the house. No communication or anything. You have to stay locked in that room until it's your turn. You get called out, do your competition, come back into the room, locked in again, hang out until everyone's finished, and then you go into the living room or outdoors, either one. You get your score, but we aren't supposed to talk to each other or anything to figure out how other people did. So just a little Big Brother insight. So anyway, so they play the competition. Afterwards, we see the key around Cody's neck, so we know he's won. They're all talking about speculating what the POV is going to be this week on Saturday. They think it's going to be one that they had in the first Big Brother All-Stars. Basically, everyone's holding a button, and different punishments or rewards are going to pop up, and whoever punches their button first gets whatever it is. If it's a reward, the first person to push a button gets it, but they lose points on their cumulative score. If it's a punishment, picture slop for the rest of the season or having to shave your head, something like that. First person to punch a button gets it, but they get points added to their score. And at the end of the competition, whoever has the highest points wins veto. So, you decide whether you want the power or it's a fun competition. However, that's not going to be what it is because we've already heard Julie Chen say on the episode that it's going to be OTEV. Yay, I'm ready for OTEV. I'm not sure how the money's going to come into play. Maybe instead of grabbing the answer, you grab a money tag or something, and then you're out of the game after that. I don't know, but we'll find out. So it sounds like OTEV's going to take place on Saturday. So now let's get to some of the actual conversations. First of all, in the photo room, Memphis and Danny are talking. They think Cody won the money and the HOH because, again, you can take shots on both courses, apparently. But they're talking about how much America probably hates them being the committee alliance because they've been winning so much. And, yeah, just say that. I think a lot of us would like to see the house shaken up a little bit. But the committee has been winning a whole lot of the competition. So they think America probably hates them because of that. They're also thinking that David and Kevin will probably be fighting very hard for this veto. But they're happy that everyone else in the house, it should be a chill week for everyone else except for Kevin and David. Because the assumption is even if one of them wins a veto and pulls himself off, yes, someone else may go up, but the other person should go home. So everyone's feeling pretty safe in the house. I don't like hearing that. All right, so in the key room, Nicole and Christmas are talking. Nicole is worried because Davon in her eviction speech said that Nicole had stabbed her in the front. But Christmas is saying, yeah, but she said that what you did in our last season, stabbing me in the front, she said she's implying or suggesting that's better than getting stabbed in the back, like what happened to Davon when she played with Paul in the previous season. And so she's saying, yeah, it's not that bad, Nicole. Now, do you think Nicole lying this whole past week about the Ian vote, does Davon consider that a stab in the front or a stab in the back? I'll let y'all decide on that. But again, it may be interesting if it ever comes down to a jury vote. So in the key room, Christmas and Memphis are discussing this week's have-nots. Memphis is saying, hey, Kevin is an easy pick. He hadn't been a pick since week one. Christmas is saying, I really hope Cody picks David. But if he picks David and I pick Kevin, they're going to be in a room together in a have-not room. And I don't know if that's a good idea. In the photo room, Enzo is telling Nicole, saying, yo, we need to start making big moves. Now, he says this every week. He says he's going to make the moves. He wants other people to make big moves. Yeah, I'm ready for the big moves, Enzo. Win and actually do it. But so far it hadn't happened. He also thinks that Cody will pick him for have-nots, which he does, as we'll find out in a little bit. And Christmas picks Kevin, which we'll talk about. Enzo is okay with this because he says, man, Cody's going to be in HOH room. I'm in a have-not room. It's going to make it easy for me to go talk to him without having to sneak around. They also are thinking that David and Kevin will most likely be Cody's nominations. So in the key room, Cody and Memphis and Tyler are talking. Cody is confirming that Kevin is going on the block. Christmas is also saying that it's kind of mean that Kevin's going to be a have-not since he's been on the block 4 weeks in a row. But Tyler is saying, hey, it's only fair. He hadn't been there since week one. Also, if Kevin goes on the block, it's going to make him a little bit weaker, a little bit tougher for him to win the veto on Saturday. So it may not be a bad idea. Tyler is also talking. He's upset because Davon came to him before the eviction and said, hey, tell me how I got here. How am I going home? And wanted him to tell her his entire game plan. And he said, I'm not telling her game plan, but she acted all upset that I wouldn't give her all this information. Meanwhile, Christmas is saying that she didn't want Memphis as a have not. That she didn't want Memphis as a have not because he cooks. And if he was on slop, he wouldn't keep on cooking. Keep that in mind, Big Brother fans, that if you're the cook, maybe there's a little less inclination to make you a have not as a result. So you never know. Now, she's also in alliance with him, which is probably the real reason, but good excuse, Christmas. So in the bathroom, we've got Cody and Memphis speaking. Cody tells Memphis that, Kevin and David are going on the block, and we need to make sure the nominations stay the same. So in the have not room, Kevin and Enzo are talking. They're talking about that Nicole has been running things all this time. She's been running everything, but she has zero blood on her hands, except for Ian and Davon, who may not be real happy with her. But that Cody is working alongside her, and he's getting all the blood on his hands. They're thinking that if Cody makes it to a final two, he just may not have the jury votes because he's getting blamed for so much stuff. Enzo is talking about how hard it is to break apart pre-show alliances, especially the four, is how he called them. And he says, man, I think America is just hating the way this season is going. And probably that's why we've had so many wall yellers, because they're trying to shake things up a little bit. Yeah, you may be onto something there, Enzo. So in the photo room, Nicole and Danny are talking. They think Kevin's in trouble because he's been bad talking the guys quite a bit, and now the guys are targeting him, and they're probably right. I think they're tighter with David. Probably would just soon send Kevin home before David. So in the key room, Memphis and Christmas are talking. Christmas is worried because Danny keeps bringing up her name. She says 4 different people have come to me in this past week and said that my name was mentioned. So Memphis is saying, look, I'll let you know if Danny comes to me and says anything about you. We'll keep an eye on it. Christmas is also saying that she knows Danny didn't want Christmas to find out about her using her power on Memphis so he could play in this HOH. Danny talked before, she was worried if people found out she used this power that people would start associating the two of them together as a duo. So she is worried that Danny, that Christmas knows about it. So in the photo room, Memphis and Danny are talking. They're saying, as I thought this was interesting, they're saying they don't really care who the targets are this week. They feel okay. And Memphis is saying, look, the house is more concerned with who won the money than they're worried about who the nominations are going to be. These guests are way too comfortable, but wait till next week in the triple eviction. It all changes. All right, so at the memory wall, David and Cody are talking. David doesn't know about the face wall smash up competition or why people have been studying the picks. So Cody brings it up, explains what happened, said, look, just start paying attention to this wall just in case you need it, because we always have that competition every single year, except my year. All right, so in the HOH, we get the HOH room reveal. Didn't happen until around 2 o'clock Big Brother time. Cody got a letter from his girlfriend, and we didn't get to see it on live feeds, but we saw the after effects. And so then after that, in the HOH room, Danny and Enzo and Cody are talking. They're still up there. This is late. This is what, 6 o'clock and 4 o'clock Big Brother time, and I think they're still up there. But they start off in the HOH room. Enzo is figuring that Davon told Kevin everything about her alliances, her discussions with people, everything. And yeah, she basically did. So Kevin knows everything that Davon knew and that she was up to. Danny and Enzo are telling Cody that Christmas was very upset when Cody won HOH. And Danny says that Christmas even called Cody an enemy of the state. Now, that reference was made while they were playing charades. That was the name of a movie. So it wasn't that big a deal, but it's still Danny trying to plant some seeds about Christmas to Cody. And so she's trying to do everything she can. So trying to create some divisions there. All right, so finally, in the love room, Christmas is having a hard time missing her son. She's crying a lot in the love room, really having a bit of a meltdown. Just, everyone has meltdowns every once in a while. So she's in there crying a lot, saying she really misses her son. She feels that people in the house are just fake. They're hypocritical. She doesn't like any of them. She says, I don't even want to be in their alliance anymore either. She ought to be happy that she is right now. But she says, I'm just tired of it and everything. But then she says, but I'm going to fight my ass off. I'm going to fight. I'm going to win. I'm here. I'm going to do what it takes. I'm not giving up. But she is tired. She's tired of putting up with everything. She doesn't like it. She doesn't like the way that Kevin's being treated. She says he's being so nice considering how many times he's been put up on the block and everything. So she's just tired. She talks some more about her family, and eventually then she calls it a night, goes back to bed. And that's where I'm shutting it down, guys. So what do we have today? We've got the nomination ceremony, and then tomorrow we'll have the veto pick and the veto competition. And then next Thursday, we're going to have the triple eviction, which will be so much fun. Guys, y'all have a fantastic Friday. I will be here in about 24 hours, and I will see y'all then. SKD 143, y'all have a great one, guys. Stay safe. Cheers, my friends.